Welcome, friends. Today's adventure in scent is Eau De Parfum by Yves Saint Laurent. Here we go. This fragrance review should really go like this. Me talking about the beautiful greenness of this scent, brought in from the green floral of geranium and the juniper berry, beautifully paged with the herbal quality of sage, and the underbelly, the undertone of the scent, the masculinity brought in from the earthy tones of vetiver and the cedar wood, and paired with tonka bean as this dries down, a little bit of creaminess coming out, mixed with the amber woods and the smoky incense, adding a bit of mysteriousness with this freshness. And at the top of this, the juiciness of the apple and the bergamot and the spiciness of ginger. That's really kind of how this fragrance review should go. Something like that. But it ain't gonna go like that. It's kind of, you do get that nice apple at the top, but the way this fragrance reads to me is something that was created in a lab, in some factory, and I should really be talking about the aroma chemical notes that make up the composition of the scent. Because when you talk about something, a fragrance that reads synthetic, that's what this reads to me. None of this really comes through as natural. The apple is nice at the top, but the rest of it just seems like a fresh aroma chemical scent that is has a heavy base of ambroxan in it. And when you're in the mall and you're going through stores like the Buckle or Macy's or Ulta or Sephora or any of those places, and you take a whiff of a lot of these modern fresh scents that are out there, they all have that same ambroxan. Maybe it's not just that. Maybe it's that paired with who knows what other aroma chemical that they have decided in these modern times that they're pushing on the public in their colognes and fragrances, but they all have that similar note, and it needs to be a new note in Fragrantica. We should all write Fragrantica and tell them that they need to make a new note, the mall note. You know, when you have a little square picture of like a mall. This fresh fragrance contains the mall note in the base, because they all have that, and for some reason, you know, as the years go by, that mall note is getting more and more off-putting. And when I'm at the mall and something new comes out, because this is my hobby, I get excited about these kind of things, and I pick it up and I smell it and I'm just like, oh, no. No. I don't even want to wear it, because I know where this is going. But you know what? Every now and then I just got to check something out and see what it does for me, and I've been sitting on this for a little bit now, and I thought, well, let's give a designer a ride. And you know, there have been a lot of great things done with designers over the years, for sure, but this, in my opinion, is definitely not one of them. But, you know, a lot of people out there nowadays are probably used to what comes out of the mall, and this is what's been pushed on people, and this is what they're used to, and frankly, if you don't know any better, that's okay. Buy it. You'll smell fresh. You'll probably get some compliments from it too. But just to let you know, there's a world of better stuff out there that actually comes across more pleasing and more natural, and you get your money's worth out of it, because what I think about a scent like this is a corporation type of scent. And we all know how corporations try to pinch pennies, and I imagine with something like this, they would pinch pennies in the juice and the quality of ingredients that goes into it, and they put it in a pretty shiny bottle to make people buy things. That's why I kind of gave up on the whole collecting of pretty shiny bottles a long time ago, because I think by now we all know that a lot of money, a lot of markup is in fragrances, so you like to feel like you get your money's worth out of it. You like to feel like you're wearing something of quality, at least, for for sure, and not just a pretty face. And I had a guy little while ago write me and say, why don't you review more cheap fragrances, Dan? And there's that word right there, cheap. I get that word at work a lot too. You got anything cheap that's good? Really? Granted, you do come across those diamonds in the rough, which are super cool. You know, something you find that is not that expensive that actually comes across as quality. And that is super awesome. But frankly, you know, a lot of the stuff for me when you go out to the mall, like nowadays, like I said, is all the same redundant stuff over and over. And I've been doing this for many, many years. And that guy that wrote me and said that, why don't you review less expensive, cheaper fragrances? You know, I collect bottles and I've got like about 100, but I only buy like less expensive stuff. And I'm thinking in my head, if you've got 100 bottles of juice in that price point, you've probably covered all the bases you need to cover. And I would get bored and want to step out and venture into some other territories for sure. I just don't get that. I just personally don't get people who are stuck on having to have the pretty little bottle. Because really, when you have all them pretty little bottles on your shelf, it's nice. You know, it's nice to collect things, but fragrances are a lot of cash. And are you really ever going to wear them? Are you going to be able to use them? You're not. Man, and a guy like Dave Ramsey would be disappointed in you. He'd be like, you got all that money sitting on that shelf when it could be invested in something. Buy yourself some decants, son. If you're going to be like a scent hobbyist, you know, if you're going to take years at it like I have and enjoy scent exploring, what people have created, there's a whole world of fragrances out there that are super expensive, but they don't have to be. That's where decants come in, and chances are, if you get into this hobby and you start doing it for years, you're not going to be able to use all them decants anyways. I haven't. My God, I got a crap load. I'll never be able to use them all, but it's still fun. You know, there are fun ways to enjoy the hobby. We all have our own way, though. Some people do like the pretty bottle, but even if I did have like a lot of money just to waste frivolously on fragrances, I still don't think I would do it. Like, all the bottles you see behind me are mostly just decorations. They've been splits. They have stuff that I have split, you know, sold off. I don't like hold on to an arsenal of juice. I do not have a ton of juice on hand. And it makes me feel bad when some of it goes bad. Like I have in the past have had fragrances that I've sat on in bottles and they just go bad, and I look at it and I'm like, well, there goes $60. Not a good feeling. So that's my own personal thoughts. Kind of got into a little rant and about, you know, decants and fragrances and less expensive and more expensive and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm probably going on. But the end of the story, this Eau De Parfum, is that, yeah, to me it reads like an aroma chemical scent that is fresh and just has that same old mall vibe to it that all them fragrances have, or a lot of them. And do you want to be that person? Do you want to be that guy? And frankly, I'm starting to smell it more and more as people are walking by me. And I'm just like, ooh. So that's my story for today. If you have checked this one out, make sure to share with me your thoughts down below. I believe there's a lot of love for this one out there, because on Fragrantica, it's getting a 4.1 or something like that. So some people out there are probably going to be mad at me and got their panties in a bunch. But please, it's just my opinion. Trying to spread my wisdom to those who care. But like I said before, what the hell do I know anyway? But you guys, take care. Thanks for stopping by. and I'll see you soon.